again, everybody, and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz, and it's the Aces Gallery for week 4 of February, part 3. Wow, halfway through. Anyway, first off, we've got Jake66 of the clan S7A driving out in the WZ121FT, the Chinese Tier 8 TD, which is a premium tank, and he's on the NA server. And it's nice to have people from the NA server send me their replays. I don't get many of them. So same with you guys on Asia and the RU service. Come on guys, send those replays in. This tank is spectacular. I absolutely love this tank. And to be fair, it's a tad OP, in my opinion. I mean, the gun on this thing is fantastic. The mobility is just fantastic. The aim time and the reload time is just fantastic. And the armor, if you know how to angle it, it's fantastic. What is wrong with this tank? I mean, seriously, okay, if you're YOLO like a muppet, then yeah, you're going to get wasted. But if you know how to play it, and you play it like this, boy, it's OP. I mean, it's borderline, realistically. But this tank is a demon. It's an absolute demon, especially for its tier. I mean, don't forget, okay, it's not rolling out the massive high damage rolls that the ISU 152 does. And if a Tiger 1 gets in your way, you're not going to roll anything. It's as simple as that. However, it's got, you know, 400 high alpha rolls in this thing. That's on your standard AP. I mean, the DPM is pushing 3,000 on your AP. This is not a bad tank. Okay, like I said, it's not ISU 152 tank destroyer capability. I mean, you're not pushing out 3,000 DPM, and you're not rolling 640 high rolls, but you're pushing out close to 3,000, you're doing 400 high alpha, and you're doing it in just over 8 seconds. I mean, don't forget the ISU is pushing out 13 seconds almost per load. I mean, this thing is a beast. I mean, look at this. He's already taken 2 kills. He's knocked out just shy of 2,000 damage. He's already blocked a few shots. This thing is not comparable to the ISU, in my opinion, because they're different monsters. The ISU, okay, you know, if you camp in the back, you can put shots in. This thing has the ability to get up close and personal if you really want it to, and still take a battering. I mean, look at that. It's just wiped out a T-28 Defender. That's a formidable target. That's over 3,000 damage now. Sorry. Yeah, it's 3,000 damage now. I mean, this is a great little machine. And look at that. I mean, you're getting 45 kilometers an hour out of it. And Jake66 clearly knows how to handle this thing. Okay, he's had a bit of a battering, but he's taken 3 kills, 3 pretty formidable tanks, and, you know, he's just rammed an IS-6. I mean, it's unbelievable, really. And now he's going to give this IS-6 a bad day in Bosnia. The IS-6 gets him, but wow, 3,241 damage. He only bounces 200, takes 3 kills. The team finally ends up winning the game. I'll just zip forward on that, because there's no point just looking at a dead carcass. He gets a well-deserved mastery, 3 kills, 3,240 damage. What more do you want? And I'd like to thank Jake66 of S7A for kindly sharing that replay with us. It was a pleasure to watch you roll out and take that ace, my friend. Next up, really good friend of mine, John T2014 of the clan EMRS. He's rolling out in the T28 Defender, the American Tier 8 the American Tier 8 TD. It's a premium tank, recently hit the stores, and it's on the EU server, and it's been long awaited. Now, John T sent me 2 replays, and I've chosen this one over the other one, for no particular reason, other than I like this one. I like this tank, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of people think it's OP. It's not. This tank is not an OP tank. It plays a lot differently to the T28 Proto, in my opinion. The armor, if you stick it the right way, and really you need to get an armor inspector to understand the mechanics of this one, is a bit trolly when it wants to be. The gun is fantastic. Okay, it's got a 3 shell magazine. You stick the magazine in, you fire your 3 shells. It's quite a long load time between the 3. And then the load time between magazine to magazine is quite long. I mean, it's 20 odd seconds. It seems an eon. But the amount of burst damage you can churn out is unbelievable. And trust me, you won't have that many. Oh, look at that. What an ammo rack. Yay! And trust me, you won't be disappointed with the burst damage. Or the penetration. I mean, its penetration, okay, is slightly on the low side at only 225. But, you know, I haven't really struggled in this thing, to be perfectly frank. When I've rolled out in it, I've managed to pen. And Jonty here is not struggling either. And the burst damage is 1,200. I mean, that is immense, to be honest with you. Don't forget, this is a tier 8. Officially, this is a tier 8 TD. You play it more like a medium type heavy rather than a TD. The T28 Proto, you really do play as a TD. This is slightly different, and I've just found it slightly better playing it as a sort of medium stroke heavy rather than a TD. A bit like you would play the Helsing. You know, most people, the Helsing, most people don't realise is actually a TD. You very rarely play it as a TD. You generally play it as a light medium. Well, this is similar. You play it as a medium heavy, and you'll have a lot more fun in it. The only downside is the magazine reload. Between magazines, it is really long, guys. But if you know how to use an autoloader, you're not going to be in that much trouble. You are if you're on the front line. And if you notice here, Jonty is in the action, but he's really not on the front line. He's more of a second line support. And this is realistically where it comes into the play, into that medium type of play. You play it more like, if you want to play it like a heavy, you play it more like you would play one of the American heavies, which aren't frontline tanks, as you know, because of their pretty poor lower hauls. This is similar. It's got pretty decent armor on it, to be honest with you. I mean, you see here, Jonty's already bounced 1,000. He just bounced another massive shot from behind. So, unlike most American tanks, its butt isn't that exposed. It is quite heavily armored. But this is the thing. I mean, look at this. Boom. I mean, it's a fantastic gun. And I know a lot of people have said it's OP. It really isn't OP. Well, not in my opinion anyway. But it's a fun tank. And I like it. I really do like it. I mean, look at that. 3,500 damage. That is a well-deserved mastery. And I'd like to thank Jonty2014 of EMRS for kindly supplying that replay, because it's a well-deserved ace. Next up, another friend of mine, Mark Collins of the clan Grave, rolling out in the Jag Tiger 88cm, the German Tier 8 TD, again a premium, rolling out on the EU server. Now, this is another tank I actually really enjoy. The reason I enjoy it, unlike its tech tree counterpart, the reload on this is phenomenal. I mean, it is just unbelievable. It's less than 7 seconds. You've got quite a formidable tank with great armor, really not bad mobility for a big whopping TD, and a fantastic gun with a really ultra fast reload. I mean, this is like driving a German TD with a British gun in it. It is spectacular. Okay, unlike the tech tree counterpart, it struggles with its high-end alpha. But as you can see there, Mark Collins hasn't struggled to get rid of that tank. The Jag Panzer's gone. Simple fact of life. And this is, and look at him bounce. I mean, he's bouncing all over the shop. And you can do that in this thing. Hello, Luva. How you doing? Oh, I'll stick 200 odd into you and bounce you a bit more. This is why I love this tank. This tank will bounce lots. It really, really will. I mean, look at that. He's always face onto that Luva, and he's still bouncing. He's bounced over 1,200. He's dished out 1,300, give or take. And he's still bouncing. They just can't pen him. Okay, he's lost his gunner at the moment, I think, or his optics, one of the two. But that's not a problem. Now he's going to roll into the base. Talk about balls. I mean, that's a ballsy move. And he's still bouncing. I mean, you can't get much ballsy than that. He has got a Rudy. He's got a Luva. Oh, the Luva's gone. He's got a Rudy and he's got a KV there. You know, and he's just rolled. No, the Luva's still there. And he's just rolled into the base to cap it. And he's bounced everything. He's now bounced over 2,000. He's now taken his second kill. He's bounced again. I mean, is anybody going to pen him? He's sat on the base. He's bounced the Luva. He caps it out. He takes kill number 3. No one's penned him. What is K still bouncing? I mean, either RNG is completely on your side, or you just really know how to angle this tank. This is why I love this tank. I mean, he's bounced over 3,000. He's dished over 2,000. He's taken 3 kills. I mean, he's almost... Oh, no, now he's dished 3,000. So he's equal in bounces and in damage inflicted. I mean, that is one heck of a tank. And if you don't think this is a good tank, watch this game again on how to play this tank. It is spectacular. That is a fantastic mastery. And I'd like to thank Mark Collins for sharing that with us, because seriously, you're not going to get a game much better than that in this tank. 3,400 damage. Wow. And look at all those bounces. Great game. Next up, the Scarecrow 2018 of the clan J_4_F. Rolling out in the IS-2SH, the Russian Tier 8 Heavy, again another premium, and again on the EU server. And again, this is actually a tank that's growing on me. I don't particularly like the IS-2, and I don't particularly like the IS-2 1945. This, however, I like. It's growing on me. I think this is a fantastic little tank. Okay, it's got pants gun depression. 1, it's Russian, and 2, it's rear mounted. But like most of the rear mounted tanks, stick it on the side, you get better depression. Damage wise, it's not too bad. What makes this tank is the armor. I mean, the armor on this thing is pretty trolly. I mean, okay, it's got a long reload like the normal IS-2, but look at that, it will bounce and it will pen, unlike the normal IS-2, which really struggles to pen. This thing doesn't struggle as much, and it will bounce a lot more. The armor is a lot more trolly than both the tech tree and the premium IS-2s. I like this tank. Now, it's not the easiest tank to drive. It's a Russian heavy. It's not the best gun in the world. It's not the quickest tank in the world. The armor is not too bad. As you can see, it's slightly sloped on the sides. Okay, the front glacis is pennable. The turret is pretty solid, that big round turret. But, you know, whilst it may not be the easiest tank to drive, it's actually a lot more forgiving, in my opinion, than both the Tech Tree IS-2 and the premium IS-2, which, don't forget, are a tier lower, so it's a little bit different. This thing, being a tier higher, you'd expect it to be a little, obviously slightly better. But look at this, bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. This tank is a pain in the backside on the battlefield. Well, at least it can be in the right hands. And as you can see here, the Scarecrow 2018 certainly knows how to play this tank. I mean, this poor tank here, T-54, go, go, go. Yeah, goodbye. And IS-3, you're next. You know, IS-5, sorry. IS-5, you're next. My eyes are set on you, says the Scarecrow. And he's going to roll after him. Look at this, look at this. An IS-2. Oh, I thought he was going to chase him. No, he's going to chase him down. Chase you down, IS-5. Bouncy, bouncy. God, that's it. It is a nice tank. He's already done over 3,000 damage. He's already blocked over 1,000. This is what you need in a tank. I mean, here comes the IS. Bye, IS-5. There you go. Finally, the IS-2 gets him. A lot of people, don't rate some of these premium tanks. Yeah, okay. A lot of the guys who drive the premium tanks, to be fair, are what we would call noobs. They're not, but these tanks are for everybody. And the thing is, they're good credit earners. I mean, this one's a good credit earner. And if you know how to play the tank, you can have fun in it. so far, have never had a bad game in the IS-2SH. Seriously, I've never had a bad game in it. I've enjoyed every game. I've not won every game, I admit, freely admit that. But I've had fun all the time. And that's what makes this tank, and this is what makes this game. I mean, too many people take this game the wrong way. The idea of these tanks is to have a bit of a giggle and to have some enjoyment. It's entertainment, guys, nothing more. And the irony is, every time I roll out in this thing, I walk away with a smile on my face. And that's what makes it for me. So I don't mind if the tank is a little bit meh. I don't mind if it's not the best tank in its class or in its tier. It gives me a smile. That's what I like. And it's like with most tanks, you know, sometimes when I'm doing the reviews, I have to grind some video replays, and it becomes a chore. Then you go out in a tank like this, and it's no longer a chore. It's just a bit of fun. And, you know, that's how the game should be played. It should be played a little bit of fun. And look at this. Goodbye. Kill number 3. Wow. 3,615 damage. Wow, deserved mastery. Shed load of blocks. I mean, you're not going to get much better than that. Last up, a very good friend of mine, Harrier77, again, 49 div, rolling out an E25, the German Tier 7 TD, again, a premium on the EU server. In fact, I've just realised all the tanks are premiums in this part 3. Didn't realise that. Now, what can I say about the E25? Well, I'll say it straight off the bat. I don't like this tank. Not because the tank's rubbish. It's because I just don't know how to play it properly. It's simple as that, really. I mean, every time I roll out in this tank, a red mist descends across my face, and I have the uncanny ability to just YOLO like a complete muppet. And it, you know, the tank's actually a good tank. It's a really good tank. I just don't know how to play it, and because I don't know how to play it, I don't like it. On the other hand, Harrier77 does know how to play it, and whilst he's bouncing everything off that IS at the moment, you know, he's showing exactly what this tank is capable of doing, and that is, boy, has it got a fast reload, boy, has it got some great mobility, and boy, does it have a fantastic engine. I mean, this is a really good, different type of TD, and if you know how to play it, it's good fun. For me, I don't know how to play it, so I never have fun in it. Harrier, on the other hand, does know how to play it, and I can guarantee you this, he's having fun in this thing. I mean, the camo profile is very, very high on this thing. Not only that, because of its low silhouette, it's also really difficult to spot. Anyway, but what makes it is this gun. I mean, look at that reload. 3 seconds. It's obscene at this tier. Look at the speed. 60k. 60 kilometers an hour out of a TD. Problem is, if you get smacked really, really big. It does struggle to pen on occasions. We saw that earlier. But look at this. I mean, it's so low. If you haven't got gun depression, you're going to struggle. It's simple as that. And you can put this thing up close and personal to some of the big tanks, and they just won't get the gun down on you. I'm thinking KV2. You stick this alongside a KV2. KV2 hasn't got a open house chance. However, as I said, the armourer profile on this thing is pretty pants. Okay, so Harrier has managed to bounce 200, but that's not the norm, I'll be honest with you. I mean, it is pretty paper thin. If it wasn't paper thin, you wouldn't get the speed and the maneuverability out of it that you get. It's simple as that, guys. It's a trade-off. You want to go fast, you have no armor. You want to go slow, you have lots of armor. You know, case in point, mouse, dead slow, lots of armor. T29, dead slow, lots of armor. 2,400 damage so far dished out in this little mean machine. Only 1 kill. That's not the point. I mean, 2,400 damage in this thing, pretty big, to be fair. And you know, he's torn around the battlefield, and this is why it is a fun tank. Like I said, I mean, I don't find it fun because I just don't get on with it. Not because of the tank, as I've said, but purely because of me. And, you know, you as players have to realise that sometimes there are tanks that you just won't understand and you just won't get to grips with. And it's not the tank's fault, and it's not the team's fault, it's your fault. You're just crap at that particular tank for whatever reason. Mindset, ability, it doesn't matter. But, you know, with me and the E25, I just can't play the bloody tank. I don't dislike it, per se. I just don't like it because I can't play it. Harrier can. And I'd like to thank Harrier for kindly sharing that replay with us. It was a well-deserved mastery. In fact, I'd like to thank Jake66 of S7A, Jonty 2014 of EMRS, Mark Collins of Grave, and the Scarecrow 2018 of J4F for all kindly providing their replays, along with Harrier 77 of 49 diff. Guys, I really appreciate you sending them in. With that, guys, if you've got any decent replays, not just aces, anything that is funny or you want us to see, or in particular, if any of you have got any decent replays on the Stug 3G, please send them to me at fugitsblitz@gmail.com. If you haven't already, please press that subscribe button. It's a nice thing to do and it makes me happy. Comment below and press like. Again, it's a nice thing to do. And until the next time, stay safe out there, have fun on the battlefield, and happy tanking. Because guys, that's what it's all about. Fun and happiness.